Hi guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well today. My weekend starts now, so I'm happy. I don't care what happens today. I have off work. And Mondays now are my only day off because it's sort of frustrating at work. Because we have some we had some people leave and we have some new servers in. And when I say new servers, I mean servers who have never served before in their entire life. So the owner took the new servers and put them on for trivia night, which gets slammed busy. And that's Tuesday nights. All right. And I have off Tuesdays. And so does the other really experienced server. She is off Tuesdays. So we got some bad Google reviews on Tuesday because nobody was getting their drinks. Nobody was getting their food. Everybody was ignored all night. So the owner asked if I could come in and food run on Tuesdays to help out. And it's just frustrating because I should not be food running for them. They should be food running for me. I mean, I should not be the food runner. I mean, I said yes because I can't have bad Google reviews. Um, that hurts my bottom line. But oh, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what goes through my bosses throughout history. I just don't know what goes through their heads sometimes. I just don't know. I don't get it. If I was the queen, things would be different, but that's fine. But now I work every Tuesday. All right. Oh yeah, did I hit the like button? I did hit the like button. Thank you, Kelly. Whew. I don't want Kelly mad at me. I'm going in and out. I'm going in and out. Um, no, no, Michael, I earned my reviews, baby. Is it still going in and out? Food, beer. Yeah, okay. We have food too. It's really good food. Is it okay? I'm still going in and out. Nothing has changed though. I don't know what. All I did was put my headset on. Oh, you know what? I have an idea. That's not the right idea. That didn't work. All right, I'll boost my microphone a little bit and see if that does it. Give me 1 second. Might go. Oh, you're funny. Nope. Hold on. Nope. 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 No. 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 I almost did the very wrong thing. All right, Kelly love. Does that sound better? I'll just keep talking for a second to see if that sounds better. I'm only waiting for Kelly. Actually, anybody. Can anybody just tell me if that sounds better? I have another idea. It's just worse. It's a worser idea, though. So I don't want to do it. Now I don't see chat going. Hey, Lori, you do too, baby. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I got something special later, but that's for later. All right. Thank you, Linus. We're gonna go to Ohio today, and then we're gonna go to Indiana, and then we're gonna go back to Ohio, and then we're gonna finish the Fleischer clip that we did not finish yesterday, even though we all wanted to. We showed restraint, and now we will have some Fleischer left for next week because he's not working today, but I have some for today. Well, tomorrow anyway. So let's go to Ohio.
Good afternoon, Mr. Evans.
Whoa.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sansbury. How are you?
Yo.
Thank you very much for asking. I hope you're doing as well too.
Blow my ears out.
That, you don't want to be where you are. You've got several cases with outstanding warrants that we're going to talk about right now, and
Yes, sir.
possibly resolved. And I think you caught a new charge as well, correct?
No, sir. I have not caught any charges.
No. I'm sorry. You didn't catch.
No, sir.
You had failed to appear for your trial in March on that.
Well, it's a long story, sir. I work for Mr. Joe Wagner part-time, and I have a landscaping job part-time. You or another judge, I don't know who, assigned me a attorney that I previously had in a different case named Seth Smith, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I contacted this attorney several times, and I could not get the gentleman to contact me back. So what Joe decided, me and Joe, is we contacted a Mr. Jack Moser. I'm actually supposed to be in Mr. Moser's office today at 11 o'clock.
That's funny because most people tell me they have to be at work at 2 o'clock.
No, sir. I was supposed to be at Mr. Moser's office at 11 a.m. and I was riding my bicycle home from work because I can't drive no more. And they stopped me for not having a bicycle light. And here I am, sir.
Well, that was 2 o'clock in the morning, and my grandmother, rest her soul, used to say, nothing good ever happens after midnight, right?
No, sir. Nothing good happens after midnight. That's the worst time to be out at night. 12 to 5 in the morning is the worst time to be outside.
All right, so let's go over exactly what each of
He could be a court reporter.
these cases is first, all right? We'll talk about bond in a minute, and I'll give you an opportunity to expound more on that if you want. So the thing that you missed. Okay, so here I'm going to call the case numbers in case we ever need to burn these or establish a record. In 23 TRD 1823, you pled out to an M4, just driving under suspension, among other things, and I ordered for you to do 20 hours of community service within 90 days of January the 31st. Let me talk and run the railroad now, and I will give you a chance to speak. It's going to go a lot quicker.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Not a problem. So the allegation is that you're an indirect of the court's order to perform those. Now, indirect contempt carries up to 30 days in jail and up to a $250 fine, but it also provides you with all the protections and rights that you have as when you were originally charged, meaning you're presumed not to be in contempt. State has the burden. You have a right to a trial only with the judge. But you can subpoena your own witnesses, question your accusers. You have the right to counsel, and you're eligible to apply for court-appointed counsel if you couldn't afford your own. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you need to either admit or deny that you're in contempt of that court's order. So it's basically like either pleading guilty or not guilty. What do you want to do?
I want to tell you that the hours are done and I do have the paperwork. I don't know where the mix-up is, but I even took a copy of it and I did extra hours at a Army Government Veteran Association.
Okay. Where was it located?
It's out in the country. They built houses for veterans that were hurt in the wars, and they take care of the people. The owner of it is Joe Wagner's friend, Dan. I don't know Dan's last name, sir.
Well, let me ask you a quick question. Did you coordinate that through the court, or did you just take it on yourself to do your hours there?
They told me that I could do it at any non-profitable association.
Okay. What is your current address, Mr. Evans?
53 7th Avenue South. No, sir, I haven't. I've not tried to hide or anything, sir.
Okay.
I've done exactly besides having the troubles. I even emailed you, sir. I don't know where all the problems are asking for another attorney when I couldn't get a hold of Seth Smith.
Okay, so let's move on to our next case, shall we? So the
Yes,
next
sir.
case is 23 TRD 6391. This is from July of last year, and there's been no disposition. You entered a plea of not guilty. We had a trial. You didn't show up. We issued the warrant for your arrest. Looks like that one went out in April. So you can either stand on your not guilty plea. In this case, we'll set the bond and we'll get a new court date, or because it's assigned to me, if you want, you can change your plea to guilty or no contest.
But sir, can I ask you this? This warrant has appeared since the last time I was in front of you, sir. But that was before the date you're saying. I haven't been in any trouble.
Well, as I mentioned, there was a trial date scheduled for March the 27th, and when you failed to appear, that's why we went ahead and issued that warrant. But do you want to stick with your not guilties and have a bond set?
Sir, I want this to be over with. I just want to be able to work and take care of my parents and stuff. I want it over with, sir.
Okay, so you want to plead guilty to the charge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you have another case, 23 TRD 9467. That's from November of last year. You've got two different DUS charges, both M4s, but if you were to plead guilty or be convicted, only one conviction, one sentence would ensue. You've also got an improper display of license plates. So did you want to resolve these today with the guilty plea as well?
I would love to, sir. I don't want to waste your time no more either.
Hey, I'd be here whether you were on the TV or not.
That's true.
And then lastly, we have this most recent charge in which you were charged with possession of drug abuse instruments and possession of drug paraphernalia. Now, that was filed back in February, and our trial date was...
I was in a...
So, do you want to you want to plead to these as well?
I would like to save that one and continue to the court with Mr. Moser.
Okay. And you want to do the same with the consent, right?
I was in a facility being cared for like I was advised. I was in a yes, sir. I would like to.
I got you. We're gonna set bonds on the ones where you want to stick with your not guilties, and then I'll give you a chance to speak before I make any decisions on your change of pleas. But I'll have a few questions I need to ask to verify you're doing that of your own free will first. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, by the way, on both the contempt and that the criminal charge, I'm going to go ahead and release you on your own recognizance on those, probably against my better judgment. And I want to be upfront about something. If you don't show up in the future, you get new warrants, and then you see me the next time you get picked up, and you still want to stand on your not guilties, you're not going to know our bond next time, okay?
I promise you, sir, I will be there.
All right.
This is just a very serious mix-up.
Sure. Now, as it relates to the charges that you're entering pleas of guilty to, you're not required to do that. Nobody can force you to. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You realize that you're presumed to be not guilty and the state has the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, sir.
You know that you have a right to a trial with a judge or a jury?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to counsel, and we give you free counsel if you qualified. Was it your intention to waive your right to a lawyer as it relates to these two cases only?
I don't know if I should. I don't know, sir. I'm not smart in this. Yes, sir. Yes, I'll waive it.
Okay. You have the right to a trial with a judge or jury, as I mentioned. And furthermore, at that trial, you could question your accusers, subpoena your own witnesses to require them to attend, and you wouldn't have to testify, and it wouldn't be held against you if you did. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you plead guilty, you admit to committing the offenses. It means the state doesn't have to prove anything. You're going to give up your right to a trial and those other rights. If I accept your pleas and their convictions, I'm simply going to sentence you, and this long national nightmare will be over.
Yes, sir. I've made bad decisions. Yes, sir.
Now, had you been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to do what you're doing?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of anything right now?
No, sir.
And are you a citizen of the United States of America?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. Now, I promised you could make another statement if you wanted before I make any decisions here, but you don't have to. Anything else you want to say?
I just want to tell you that I have all the paperwork and everything to back up everything I'm saying. For Mr. Moser, the whole 9 yards. And I've made bad decisions, and I'm trying to fix it like I'm advised. And I apologize.
Well, I appreciate that. You said you had your own business too. What is that?
No, sir. I work part-time for Mr. Wagner and part-time for a landscaping company.
Oh, okay. I got you.
It's rough because I gotta ride my bike everywhere.
Well, I wonder what the judge has on his wrist, and please don't say a watch because I do know that. But it looks like he has like an air tag on his wrist. Is his wife keeping track of him? Does he need to know where he is? What is that thing that's dangling and banging into his watch on his wrist?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, as you were saying earlier, you made a number of decisions when you were younger, and they basically come back to haunt you, you know?
Yes, sir, they did.
Seriously though, if he would sit there and smile like the lawyer the other day, that would be very terrifying. It just would be.
All right, we're almost finished. It just takes a lot of time when you got like multiple cases.
I know this. It's a horrible situation.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. The oldest of these two cases is from July of last year. That's when you had just a single count of driving while under the non-compliant suspension. Based upon the number of priors that you've had, as well as the fact that we're approaching the 1 year mark on when you got your ticket, it's going to be $250. I'm not going to put you in jail or on probation. Only impose fines. I'm not going to suspend your license because, quite frankly, that would.
Yeah, they're so tore up. Yes, sir.
Okay, now, as I said on the other case, which was from November, you had two different counts of driving under suspension, one for an insurance reason, the other because you either an unpaid fine or something like that. Those are going to merge, and I'm only going to enter a conviction on the license forfeiture, and the sentence on that is also a $250 fine. You have two minor charges along with that. You got a headlights out charge. That's $15, and then on the improper display of license plates, $25. They'll give you paperwork down there telling you how much everything is and when it's due. Now, as it relates to the two charges that we have not resolved today, until and unless a lawyer gets involved, all notices are going to be going directly to you. And by the way, you come across as a pretty bright guy. You can track your own case online at our website. So there's really no excuse to miss court for not knowing when it is. All right.
I promise you I won't miss court.
Now, until and unless the lawyer gets involved, we're sending it to you. If you get a lawyer to make an appearance, the notices go to that person. So it's critical that you stay in close contact with them. Because obviously the court's very interested in making sure we get these resolved the next time you're here in the building.
Yes, sir.
All
yes,
right.
Sir.
Do you have any questions?
So I'm going to owe a fine and I can go back to work tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm not holding you on anything else, but let me double check and make sure that you're not being held on anything else. Nope, these are the only reasons that you're being held in jail. And as I said, I'm going to go ahead and release you on your own recognizance on the two that are still pending. I want you to take an application for court-appointed counsel with you from the jail anyway, in case things don't work out with the attorney you're planning to meet. Because honestly, if you show up on the day of the next court date and say, "Oh, Judge, I want to get a continuance so I can get an attorney," after I get off the floor from laughing, I'm going to tell you no, and we're going to have our trial. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have any questions?
Yes, sir. I understand completely. Get my butt in gear.
Very much so. I will look forward to seeing you in court next time.
Thank you, sir.
There is
All
no
right, next
Mr.
up we
Mosby,
have
huh?
Philip Kaiser. There's only one more after this. There's only one more after this, folks. So appreciate it. Good afternoon, sir. Are you Mr. Kaiser?
Yes, sir. Can you see me good?
I can see you very well. Can you see me okay?
Yes, sir. The screen froze. That's why I asked.
Okay. Well, it looks like, maybe it freezes on your end, but we're always good here. Either way, did you understand your rights in court based on watching that video?
Yes, sir.
And did you get a copy of your ticket?
I don't have it with me or anything.
You probably put it in your property. Well, I can tell you that the Granville Police Department is alleging that yesterday at around 9:30 in the evening, they claim you were driving a 2017 silver Toyota Yaris on Elm Street there in the village of Granville while under the influence of alcohol and or drug abuse. Now, I have an unofficial printout of your driving record, which is non-existent. So you either just got a license or you've lived out of state. But I have to go on the assumption that you do not have any prior convictions for this type of an offense within the last 10 years. So the penalties for an OVI offense were described in the video presentation. Did you understand that information?
I did, sir.
And how do you wish to plead to the charge?
Guilty.
Okay, now before I accept your plea, I have to ask you a few things. It may sound like I'm getting you to try to change your mind. In reality, I'm just verifying that you're doing this of your own free will, knowing what rights you'll be giving up and what the potential and mandatory penalties are. First question I have for you is, do you understand that you're presumed to be not guilty as you stand there, and you're not required to plead guilty and nobody can make you?
My only question to that was just off of everything there.
Mhm.
I did the actual physical test. I just didn't do a breathalyzer.
Right. So I want to make sure, did you say you wanted to plead guilty or not guilty?
Well, I thought that was an automatic. So that's why I just.
No, it's an automatic license suspension, but it's not. It doesn't automatically mean you're guilty. So you live locally, right?
Yes, sir.
In Newark?
Yes, sir.
What's your address?
87.
So here's the deal. You're exhibiting enough signs of confusion that I don't feel comfortable taking a not guilty plea. If that's a guilty plea, if that's the route you want to go at your next court date, you can certainly do that. But I'm going to give you a little bit of time to reflect on exactly what your options are and how you want to resolve this.
Well, sir, I'm sorry. I just want to get this everything out of the way, done and over with. So.
All right. Well, then I'm going to ask you the questions. Again, they're just simple yes or no questions. Do you understand that you're not required to plead guilty and nobody can force you to?
I do, yes.
Do you understand that it's the state that has the burden of proof because you're presumed to be innocent, and that burden is proof beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. You have the right to hire one of your choosing, and you're also eligible to ask the court to provide you one at no cost. If you qualify, we would do that, and the application forms are available at the jail. Would you like to have the benefit of an attorney, or do you wish to give up that right?
I just want to get out of jail, even if it's on bond or anything.
Well, if you plead guilty, you'll be getting out of jail with an OVI conviction and a sentence that I will have imposed. If you plead not guilty, then I'm going to set a bond for you. But yeah, you'll have to come back for at least one more hearing. So what do you want to do?
I'll plead guilty.
Okay. So was it your intention to waive your right to an attorney?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, whether you have a lawyer or not, Mr. Kaiser, you have the right to have a trial, and that could be with the judge or a jury of your peers. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Did you know that at the trial you could question your accusers? It's called cross-examination. Maybe we've heard that on Law and Order before.
Yeah.
You would have the right to subpoena your own witnesses to make them show up so that they could testify for you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand that you would not have been required to testify? Nobody could have forced you to do so. And the decision not to take the witness stand could not have been held against you in any way. Do you realize all of that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Kaiser, if you enter a plea of guilty, you admit to committing this offense. That means the state no longer has to prove anything. Your presumption of innocence is completely gone. And you'll waive those rights we've just discussed, including your right to a trial. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if I accept your plea and enter conviction today, I will impose sentence upon you. The maximum possible penalties, and these are just maximum possible penalties, up to 180 days, up to $1,000, $1,075 fine, and up to a 1 year or 3 year license suspension. Now, at a minimum, if I were to accept your plea and enter conviction, the fine has to be no less than $375. The suspension has to be at least a year, but you get credit for 1 day. And also, the court's required to sentence you to serve 3 days in jail. But instead of requiring you to do the jail time, in the alternative, the court can order that you do a 3-day driver intervention program instead. You understand that?
I do, sir. Yes.
Okay. Now, has anybody threatened you in any way or promised you anything to get you to do what you're doing?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of anything right now?
No, sir.
And are you a citizen of the United States of America?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, Officer Riley's going to go over a form with you entitled attorney waiver. You're not required to waive your right to a lawyer, but if that's your decision, you are required to execute that in writing. So he's going to prepare that form. I want you to actually read it because when we come back on, I'm going to ask you whether you read it, understood it, and verify that that's how you want to resolve it. So, Officer Riley, we will need a waiver on this one.
Okay.
Do I need to come out there and stay?
No, he'll come to you.
Yes, bring it to you here in a second. All right. So here's that. And then if you still want to waive your right to an attorney, you just gotta sign on that line right there.
Like I said, make sure you read that, Mr. Kaiser. Good God. Like four pages.
And he signed, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Kaiser, did you read that form?
I did, sir.
Did you understand what it said?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
And is it your intention to waive your right to a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me just finish reading up this short story long narrative report that the officer prepared, and then I'll give you a chance to make any statements that you want, but you won't be required to say anything if you don't want to.
Yep, because the short story narrative report is 4 pages long.
Oh, jeez. Hold on, I'm on page 4.
You gotta wait, because he's gonna drop a few hints about what it says in that report, and it's awesome.
All right. Well, Mr. Kaiser, is there anything that you'd like to say about what happened last night?
Just that it was a very bad mistake, and I'm very sorry that everything and all the repercussions that came from it.
Well, it's a pretty unusual narrative report. So I had mentioned earlier that you didn't have any type of a prior driving record that I have in front of me. Your license was just issued in June of last year. Is that the first time you've ever had an Ohio license?
Yes, sir. I'm 100% like clean. I have nothing on my
I'm not
record.
accusing you of that. I'm just trying to figure out, did you live in another state and have a driver's license in another state at some point?
No, sir. I've been here my whole life.
Okay. Do you work?
Yeah, I've had a few different jobs in the past 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. Are you currently employed?
I actually just lost my job a couple weeks ago, but I was honestly.
Where were you working?
Securitas. They have new buildings up in New Albany that they've been putting down.
So you were working as a security guard?
Yes, sir.
Armed or unarmed?
Unarmed.
Okay. And how long did you work for that company?
About 8 months.
All right. Well, despite all that interaction you had with the officers, at some point they were able to verify that you had insurance on your vehicle, which is good. How much do you remember about last night?
Honestly, after like I got like arrested, my brain kind of was just,
Well, you were impaired. I mean, that's why. I'm just curious. Are you aware that your car came to rest on top of a wrought iron fence?
Yes, sir. Yes, I know.
All right. Well, the fact that you have insurance is going to save you a lot of money because obviously that could be an issue as far as restitution is concerned.
How much? How much does a wrought iron fence cost? To me, that sounds like a lot of money. But how did he get up there? I want to see a picture. I want to see this picture right now.
All right. All right, almost there, Mr. Kaiser.
What gave him away? How do you know he was drunk?
First name Phil. How old are you, Mr. Kaiser?
24.
Maybe he saw a vampire and swerved out of the way. When he leaves a job, he really leaves that job. Maybe Ohio has a vampire
they didn't
problem.
charge you with failure to control. But I just realized that they didn't. Okay, so I need to do that on this. Okay, here's what we're going to do today, Mr. Kaiser. You are a first-time offender, so I'll impose a 30-day jail term. I'll suspend 26 of those days, give you credit for the day that you spent in the jail, and put you on probation for a year starting today. The primary term of that probation is that you successfully complete a 3-day driver intervention program. You'll get information about what your options are when you first meet with your probation officer. Furthermore, part of that program is a drug and alcohol screening. Basically, it's like a
He's
assessment,
unemployed.
but light, I guess. Anyway, you'll be required to participate and follow up any recommended counseling, if any. If not, then you won't have to. You're not to drink to excess. You're obviously not to use any illegal drugs or abuse any prescription medication. You need to be conscientiously seeking and ultimately holding down employment. You have to follow any other rules the probation department sets for you and pay the minimum fine of $375 plus the court costs. I am going to retain jurisdiction over the issue of restitution because the property owners have a right to seek restitution if they suffer actual economic loss. But of course, they don't have to if they don't want to. But we will have a hearing. We will send you notice of when that's going to be. What is your current address? Again, you told me before, but what is it again?
Yes, sir.
And that's here in Newark.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I'm going to suspend your license for 1 year starting yesterday. You're eligible to ask for limited driving privileges. You'll have to come down. I think you can actually print that off of our website. Just Google that up. Now, if they're granted, I'm not saying they will be or they won't be, but you could submit your application tomorrow and it might be on my desk as early as Monday. Even if I grant it, you cannot exercise your driving privileges for the first 15 days from the date of your ticket. So you're talking about like towards the end of the first week of August. One other thing that I tell everybody that pleads out to an OVI for the first time, if you get privileges, you need to be 100% certain that you're permitted to drive where it is that you say that where you're going. Because if you're not and you get pulled over, they will charge you with driving under an OVI suspension. It carries a mandatory minimum 3-day jail term too. But unlike this OVI, there isn't an alternative. It's 3 actual days in the jail. I can't imagine you found the last 18 hours pleasant, and you won't have to see the inside of a jail cell again if you follow all the rules of your probation, but that's going to be up to you. So this was a pretty ugly incident, and if this is the lowest day of your life, then that's good because you don't have anything worse that could happen. But this was a big deal, and you need to treat it like that, all right?
I know, sir. This is bottom for me. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, Mr. Kaiser, we'll give you time to pay on your fines and costs. Do you have any questions?
So how long am I going to be staying here?
Just as long as it takes them to process you out. I'm releasing you with credit for the 1 day. And instead of having you do 3 full days in jail, I'm making you do the program. Any other questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
Then you may go with the officer, Mr. Kaiser. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. That was Ohio. Now we're going to jump over, but carefully. We're not going to use a car to jump over the fence. We're going to jump over the fence and go straight to Indiana.
Okay, you have primary physical custody. Dad has parenting time pursuant to the Indiana parenting time guidelines.
Yes.
And she froze up. All right.
Uh-oh.
We heard an answer, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ma'am, was father, you of course allowed him to exercise his summer parenting time, correct?
Yes.
When was his summer parenting time supposed to end?
About a week and a half ago on a Sunday.
All right. And did you have communication with father indicating that he was not going to return the child?
I did.
Okay. And what did you do?
I went ahead and went to the meeting spot anyway. And I waited till 6 o'clock. And then when he didn't show, I texted him, let him know I was there again. And then I called, made a report about it.
Okay. But it's a civil matter, so there was nothing you could do, correct?
Yeah, right.
So
Correct.
as we're sitting here today, have you had your child returned to you?
No,
So you were denied your last part of summer, correct?
correct.
And now school has begun, is that right?
Correct.
And that school started yesterday, is that right?
Correct.
Is your understanding the child's missed school the last yesterday and today?
Correct.
You have concerns about the child continuing to miss school?
Absolutely.
All right. Do you want the child to return to your care consistent with this court's prior order immediately? I didn't hear you.
And she froze.
Okay. Nicole, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. It's kind of choppy.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. Yeah.
Okay.
My question
Sorry.
was, you want the child returned to you immediately
Yes.
so he can go to school tomorrow?
Yes.
All right. And you're going to want some makeup time for the days you were denied?
Absolutely.
And you believe there's 10 days of makeup time?
Yes.
All right. Do you have concerns about father's living situation?
I do.
We heard dad testify where he lives. Do you believe that address is truthful?
No.
Why don't you believe it's truthful?
Because he's been living in that Martinsville since May.
I'm sorry,
Not the-
Ms. Harper, you are cutting up here and I cannot hear your full answer.
Can you hear me?
Now I do.
Okay.
Answer it again.
He's not living with his mother. He hasn't turned.
You don't believe the father's living with his mother. Is that what I heard you to say?
Yes.
Do you believe father's living a transient lifestyle, meaning he's moving around from place
Yes.
to place, correct? Are you concerned about the lack of stability that type of lifestyle provides to your child?
Absolutely.
And we heard father say that he has concerns of abuse by your boyfriend. You heard that?
Yes.
Has your boyfriend ever abused your child?
Absolutely not.
Has your boyfriend ever been charged or arrested with abusing your child?
Absolutely not.
Has there recently been a DCS investigation based on allegations made by dad?
Yes.
And has there been any type of substantiation of allegations of abuse or neglect? In other words, has DCS come back and issued a report verifying that there is in fact abuse going on?
No.
Okay. And you deny the allegations the father is making to this court today, correct?
Yes. Absolutely.
All right. Did you tell father when he told you that he was keeping the child, that he told you the reason why? Did you tell him that he's wrong, that there's abuse?
Yes.
What did he say?
He said, I can't remember. It was all through text.
Well, then again,
Can you hear
change his
me?
mind. Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Did when you
Okay,
told
sorry.
him that when you told him that there's no abuse or neglect, did he then offer to bring the child to you?
Oh, no, he didn't. He didn't offer anything.
Okay.
He didn't speak with me or anything about it as far as talking to me and saying, hey, I think we have an issue. Let's talk to Jai about it, you know, blah, blah, blah.
All right.
But he was absolutely on it about reporting it and everything.
All right. So you're asking the court to find father in contempt of court for not returning the child at the end of the summer parenting time, correct?
Correct.
You're asking the court to award you 10 days of makeup time as a result of father taking the child for 10 extra days.
Correct.
You're asking for an award of attorney's fees of $1,500, correct?
Correct.
And I know we have a custody mod also, but that may need a longer hearing, Your Honor. So I don't know how far you want me to go into that.
I'd like you to do it.
Okay. You're asking the court to modify father's parenting time, correct?
Correct.
What are you asking the court to do regarding his parenting time?
Supervised visitation.
Why do you think it's appropriate for his time to be supervised?
Because I feel like he is mentally abusing Jai, and it's, you know, he can't even get to school. The area that I was in, I mean, when he with him for time.
Ms. Harper, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Now we do.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know. Because I feel like he's mentally and abusing him and manipulating him, and you know, to say things and you know, to miss school and always be sick. I don't think that it's healthy for him to be there. He needs to be in a stable environment.
I'm sorry, Lori.
And you don't believe that father provides emotional stability or even housing stability for the child, correct?
Correct.
All right. Are you concerned that father has been influencing the child and manipulating the child, coaching the child to make up false allegations?
Absolutely. When
You
my
believe that
child whispers to me that he wants to come
Don't,
home,
no,
I've
no,
got
no,
to-
no, 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 no. Don't tell me what you can't tell me what he said. You can't
Okay.
tell me it's hearsay, okay? But what I'm saying is, do you feel that these allegations came in retaliation for father being upset with the court order where you were awarded custody?
Absolutely.
And less than a month after you get awarded custody, here come allegations, correct?
Yes. Correct.
All right. So does that give you concern for father's mental state?
Correct.
All right. So you're asking that father have parenting time supervised at an agency at his expense, correct?
Correct.
If the court doesn't do an agency, is there any other family members that you trust to supervise father's parenting time?
Lori, come into Discord then and talk if you need to.
I can't hear you.
She's
Yes.
gone from the screen.
Uh-oh. Are we still frozen?
Yep. Video has appeared, but I'm not sure I can.
Can you hear me?
Now,
Yes.
yeah, I do now. I asked you about family members to supervise his
And
time. If there is
Mr.
anybody.
Cassis, hang on, she logged.
Oh.
We lost her again. All right, Ms.
Oh.
Harper.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
And to
Nicole,
answer your
asked you-
question, I said yes.
my question was, do you have any family members that you know and trust that could supervise dad's time if the court doesn't do agency visitation?
You mean my own family members?
Yeah, whoever.
Absolutely.
Is there anyone you trust?
Absolutely.
Who?
My mother and my sister.
Okay, are they available on weekends for a few hours, like every other weekend or every weekend
Yes.
even, to do it?
Yes. Yes.
All right. And you'd be willing to have your family supervised if it came down to it
Yes.
in a public location, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay, and you're asking the court to modify parenting time such that father's time is supervised, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, that's all I have at this time.
All right, thank you. Mr. Stout, you have the opportunity now to ask any questions of this witness. Do you have any questions for Ms. Harper?
No, I do have a few comments about, I did notify her about,
All right, hang
what
on,
Guy
Mr.
said.
Stout. Mr. Stout, this is not your opportunity for comments. You'll have an opportunity to kind of sum things up in a moment. This is only for
Okay.
questions. So no questions?
Mm, no, not at this time.
All right, thank you. Mr. Cassis, do you have anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, so now is your opportunity. You both have an opportunity to do a closing statement. Mr. Stout, what is your closing statement?
Well, I do have a text from me to her, July 18th at 5:30 that I, informed her of the situation. And then she got back with me the next day at 11:49 and responded. And then I don't know how to say this, but when he was asking her questions,
It's funny you said that, big booty starfish. Keep that in mind later.
it sounded
Who
like
was
to me
asking
that
questions? For
Cassis
attorney? Uh-huh.
asked Miss Harper about DCS, and the way it sounded that he asked her about DCS, and I just wanted to make clear I didn't call them. She called them for me. So I wanted to
Okay.
clarify that.
Okay. Anything
Yeah.
else?
Yeah, I do everything in my power. I've always been a good dad to our son, and I'm actually extremely hurt that she thinks that I would do any of those things. Our son's always safe when he's with me. His health and his happiness has always been my number one priority, and we don't move around all over the place like they were suggesting that we did. We have property that we camp out for fun for the kids, riding bikes and playing in the woods in the summer. That's kind of what you do. And I honestly think it would be best for Jai, for me and her to get together and homeschool him for, half the year or a whole year, because he failed first grade and he failed second grade, and they just shoved him on to third. And I don't want that to keep happening. I have plenty of time to school him, and we already have quite a bit of homeschool stuff already, and we have curricular activities, and we have everything planned to homeschool Jai if we could. But like I said, I never get the opportunity to say anything, and Miss Harper, every time I talk to her, she just shuts me down about the idea. But I don't want our son to keep going through school and failing and just getting passed on.
You are a bot.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Cassis?
Closing argument, Judge?
Yep.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, this is a frustrating case for me. We were just in court in front of you. I think we probably all remember that. It wasn't that long ago. And we had issues with school, and that was a primary focus of the case, and it's already a primary focus of the case. And Dad is telling you straight up, he doesn't want the kid in school. He doesn't. And so he's already missed the first 2 days of school. It creates a completely unstable situation. He's not respecting this court's order. Mom has primary physical custody. He doesn't just get to unilaterally decide he's going to keep the child when he wants, keep the child out of school. There needs to be a clear message to father that you can't do things this way. The entire process and system breaks down when people start acting like dad is acting. It cannot happen. It cannot be tolerated. So father needs to be sanctioned for contempt, 10 days of makeup time for mom. We're asking for an award of $1,500 as a sanction against dad to reimburse mom for attorney's fees for bringing this action. We ask the child be returned immediately so he doesn't miss any more school. And for father to understand, this child is enrolled in school and needs to be in school. And also, Your Honor, we do have concerns about father's mental health. The fact that he would take matters into his own hands, act this way, insist on trying to keep this child out of school. These allegations come out of left field after he gets an order that he doesn't like. His housing is questionable, to say the least. There's no stability. We have concerns about that, Your Honor. We're asking that his time be supervised either at an agency at father's expense or as an alternative in a public location to be supervised by mother's family on weekends for up to 4 hours on a Saturday or Sunday. That's what we request here, but unfortunately, I think that something drastic has to happen here because this should never have happened. What happened 2 Sundays ago cannot stand. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I'm going to ask, the court's going to take under advisement the testimony I've heard today as well as the evidence presented. I am going to issue an order this afternoon, so if you would both, you have an hour to get in a prepared order.
She
I am going
lies.
to order the immediate return of this child to his mother. Mr. Stout, I want to make sure you heard me.
Yes, ma'am.
Today, the child will go back to his mother's home. And I would like a proposed order from both parties within an hour.
Yes,
All
Judge,
right.
I'll submit it, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor, that's all I have.
I-
Thank you. Oh, go ahead.
Mr. Stout?
I have, yeah. What do you, sorry, what exactly do you mean you want? Like what?
What?
You have, this is your opportunity to put together an order as to what you would like me to rule. And
Oh,
file
okay.
it with the court. But I will tell you
Okay.
right now that the child will be going home.
Yes, okay,
All right.
got it.
There being no further business, this hearing's adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
So I was curious about this case. So I looked and oh my. So it started in 2022. So we can say that the child is probably at least 3 or 4 years old. Nope, he started school, failed first grade, failed second grade. So going into third grade. And it's just been now this Indiana isn't as good as Connecticut, so I can't see the documents like I can in Connecticut, but it's just been hearing after hearing after hearing. You can't sit there, kitty. Move. You gotta move. You gotta go down here. It's okay. You're okay. All right. So she said she was gonna put an order out today. Hold on, I gotta get to the bottom. This is this is all this case. Should I read it to you guys? No. Um. All right. So 8/1. That's when I got this. Was the hearing where she ordered the child back to the mother, and then she was going to um put an order in, but the order isn't here for me to get. And I don't know what she was ordering. She already ordered the child back to the house. I think what she was ordering was new visitation from father. I don't know because they didn't really say it. The attorney asked for it, but the judge didn't really say it. Um, there is another hearing though in October to modify whatever it is they're modifying now. So that was a modification hearing. That's what we just watched, a modification hearing. So the child has to be returned. She issued an order that we can't see. There's nothing to click. Maybe there's a button over here. I even looked at the top. There's no document section or anything. So there's another modification hearing in October. Now, what they didn't say there is what the mother is now being accused of by the father. So the father had this. Well, I'm sorry, that's not true. I almost said something that was absolutely not true. The mother said the father had the kid make some accusations. They could be true. Kids usually tell the truth in things like that. So that mother sounded like an angel there, father sounded like the devil, but it's probably both. Um, it doesn't get this way when one person is an angel and one person is the devil. It's probably both. So that case it's just been crazy for years. They've been dealing with this for years. The kid's been dealing with this for years. And I mean, we keep seeing we keep seeing custody cases like this, and I don't like. There should be a stiffer penalty for parents who do this stuff. Moms and dads should go to jail if they put their children through this. This is it's just not okay. It's not okay. Not okay. All right. Now we're gonna go back to Ohio for one more quick little Judge Stan. What was his name again, Lori? Lori? What's your future ex-husband's name? I can't remember. Hi, Kitty. Stan. I can't remember. All right, we'll find out right now.
Degree. He did enter pleas of guilty to all
Sansbury.
3 charges at the arraignment, but because the hit skip did involve the victim as defined in Marcy's law, and as I explained to Mr. Fry on the day that he entered his pleas, the court was required to continue the matter of sentencing on that charge alone. The court's already imposed sentence on the DUS and the failure to control. Mr. Fry, you have a right to make a statement if you wish before I make any decisions about the sentence I'm about to impose. Do you want to say
The
something?
truth was spoken, Your Honor. The first time I heard about being in a little panic mode, lights and the screaming and stuff behind me, I really couldn't see what the hell I was doing. And I do apologize for this particular juncture, because it would have never happened. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I said at Buddy's house with a work truck. That was all there was to that.
All right.
And I do apologize, and I will make it right.
All right. Well, the officer who cited you checked off that you had proof of insurance, which is why I did that too. And you can be seated.
Okay, sir.
What did he say?
So if you in fact did have insurance, then they should be paying their fair share, as it were. Ms. Yeager, did the state wish to be heard regarding sentencing, and has the owner of the vehicle that Mr. Fry struck been notified of their right to be present to address the court today?
Yes, Your Honor. The state has complied with Marcy's law and spoke with the victim. We did speak with them directly also about restitution. So between their insurance and the defense insurance, everything's going to be taken care of. So they are not seeking any restitution at this time. And we would defer to the court regarding any sentence.
Okay. Thank you. You still live on Linville Road?
Sir?
You still living out on Linville?
Yes, sir.
Keep wanting to write 7. Okay, the court's going to go ahead and impose, I'm not going to impose any jail time or put the defendant on probation. The fact that he had insurance and the other gentleman's insurance, or the other person's insurance, I guess I shouldn't make any assumptions there, are going to handle it. Obviously, it will be a great inconvenience, but it seems to me like the defendant was appropriately responsible in that regard. So I won't impose any jail or probationary period. I will, however, impose an additional financial sanction, $200 fine. And it is mandatory that the court impose at least a 6-month license suspension. I was taking a look real quick at your unofficial BMV printout. Doesn't appear that that's going to really have a practical effect on you, so I'll make that effective today. Now, if you were able to get everything else taken care of before that 6 months is up, you're eligible to ask the court for limited driving privileges, but you got to get everything else cleaned up first. All right. And if you don't, or you don't even want to, then don't worry about it. But right now, technically, you can't drive for the next 6 months. Okay.
Yes,
all right, Mr. Fry, we'll give you more time to pay, and they'll explain that to you when you get down to the clerk's office. Any other questions today?
No, sir, there is not.
Anything further, Ms. Yeager?
Yeah.
All right, you may go with the bailiff. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You have a good day.
Man, good job. Good job.
You have a good day, man. Not you, Ms. Yeager. Her. All right, next we have Shane Ewan. Is that how you pronounce your last name, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead and have a seat. This is 24 TRD 05046, and it's captioned the state of Ohio versus Shane Ewan. He's here in the courtroom today without counsel. We're scheduled for a trial to the court on this speeding citation. However, I've been informed, Mr. Ewan, it's your intention today to go ahead and withdraw your previously entered plea of not guilty and enter a plea of guilty to the charge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, before I can accept your plea, I need to verify you understand a few things. The first of which is you're not required to plead guilty. Nobody can force you to do that. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're presumed, in fact, to be not guilty as you sit there. The state has the burden of proof in this case and all criminal and traffic cases to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt before a person could be convicted. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you have a right to have a trial with the judge, but not a jury, because you're not looking at any potential jail time here. Now, if you plead, you admit that you committed the offense. State doesn't have to prove anything anymore. You're no longer presumed to be innocent. In fact, I will enter a conviction and impose sentence upon you today, and you will waive those other rights. Understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the maximum penalty for this offense is up to a $150 fine. My last question to you, Mr. Ewan, is are you a citizen of the United States of America?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very well. And the court finds that the plea and the waivers to be knowing, intelligent, and voluntary, and I'll accept the same. I'm looking at the citation and at my ODOT map here. It looks like the offense took place between the post and where 16 and 37 meet, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, okay. Well, I'll accept the plea and enter conviction. You don't have to make a statement, but you have a right to. Anything you want to say about what happened?
I knew I messed up by speeding up as the guy was trying to pass, and yeah,
Well,
I know what I did.
According to the narrative report submitted by the trooper, you told him that it had been a long day and you were just trying to get home.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Ms. Yeager, anything from you?
Yes, Your Honor, actually, we reviewed Trooper Waffy's statement, and we also reviewed the video in this matter. I know, notably, it being 33 miles over the posted speed limit, I know often we ask for a public safety suspension. We don't believe that is warranted in this case, just due to the underlying facts and again, how Mr. Irwin conducted himself that night.
All right. Very well. Thank you. Well, I actually went ahead and created a little extrapolation on our traffic schedule only goes up to 29 miles per hour
Okay.
to guide me about how much I should impose a fine, but it has predictable gradual increments. And so had you been going 29 miles an hour over, it had been $64. If you'd been 25, it would have been 49. So the difference there is $25. So since you were over the 29, but less than the 35, that's going to end up being $89. I'm going to order that you pay the court costs. I'm not going to impose a license suspension today, although the court does note that you've got a few bumps in your past there. as it
Yeah,
were.
I'm trying to get all that fixed.
Yeah. And then it looks like you did show proof of insurance to the trooper on the night in question, so I'll mark that that's been satisfied as well. What do you do for a living?
I landscape.
Okay. All right. We will give you time to pay if you need it. If you don't, take your money sooner rather than later. But other than that, just be more careful out there, all right?
Sounds good.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I just wanted to make sure I caught your math. You said it was 49, then 64.
Mm-hmm. 25 plus 64 is 89.
Yes, but 64, 49.
That's going down.
Right. So you're right, but that's 15, not 25.
Well, it's 25 to the next one.
Okay, that's why I just wanted to make sure that.
Court's adjourned.
All right.
So guys, I think I'm thinking about moving to Texas. Right? I live in Pennsylvania, it's cold. I'm thinking of moving to Texas. So I started the transition. Fit check, Linus. Fit check. Will I fit in Texas? I love it. It's number one. It's bowl cut number one. Okay, guys, now we are going to Harris County. Everybody get ready to be normal. Judge Fleischer's courtroom. Now, Linus, you can go. Busting for real fire. Sheesh. Where is it? All right, now we have to find it though, because we stopped halfway through. Yeah.
Blue light is not on.
Okay. We were
All right, come on now.
about here.
Be dealing
We
with
saw
that.
him. Did we see him yesterday? I think we saw him. But we didn't see him though, right? We didn't see him. I'm thinking we stopped right. Oh, he's smiling. Uh-oh. That's not good. I think we stopped right here.
Yes, sir.
August 9th is his deadline.
August 9th is the deadline. Yeah.
That's his recent.
Are we happy with starting it right here? I do need the orange jumpsuit. I do. Hi, May Love. All right, I'm going to start it right here.
Set date here in the court, and I need to present by that
If
day.
I don't get a teletype by the 9th, then I'll call Virginia Sheriff's Office that morning.
Okay, August.
Yeah.
Got it. Understood, Judge. I
Okay.
think we're all on board. Thank you.
Good luck, Mr. Robinson.
Thank you, Judge. Okay.
I'm very much
Thank
more
you, ma'am.
scared of Steven with his hair on right now.
Right there.
So point or don't? No?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah. It's weird what they have it listed here and how they have this. I mean, it's, and we'll talk there. We'll get there. Good morning, Mr. Chase.
How you doing?
How's jail?
Tired, exhausted, horrible.
I mean, you're not at Club Med, man. You know, here's the rub. You are wanted out of, which county is it, Victoria?
Fort Worth,
No.
this was the one where it looked a little tricky. The teletype says Fort Worth. So the magistrate paperwork had Fort Bend. The offense happened in Brazoria, but the teletype at the bottom.
If the offense had happened in Brazoria, then it's got to be Brazoria.
I don't know, because it's handwritten that way, Brazoria.
Can I give you a cause number, guys?
I have the case. pulled
Okay.
up. I'm running his.
On Keith Chase,
Yes, sir.
is he wanted out of Fort Worth or is he wanted out of Brazoria?
Well, he's got a bit of a history, so let me see what he has open.
You have a harassment case.
Yes.
You are wanted from a different county.
Oh.
You've been in jail for 10 days, at least 10 days here. And the jurisdiction that wants you has not made travel arrangements to come get you. So I'm going to release you because the statute says after 10 days, I have to release you. I'm going to give you a PR bond today. And what I'm advising you is that you have to go to the county where you're wanted, because otherwise you will eternally have this warrant for your arrest and you will eternally continue to get picked up, sit in jail for 10 plus days, waiting. You're going to get released and then you're going to continue to get picked up until you go and deal with this harassment case.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Where did you have court for this case? In Fort Worth or in Brazoria County? Where did you pick this case up? In Brazoria County?
I never.
I thought I looked more like Rock Lee from Naruto.
The girl,
I don't want to know. I don't care.
okay, I believe Brazoria.
Okay, then you have to go back to Brazoria County, because if you don't, it's going to continue to happen over and over. There's no bond set there, is there?
500 on the paperwork, but in our system, no. I don't-
I think that your bond over there is $500. If you literally pay $50, that warrant will get lifted and then you can start going and doing your court dates over there. If you show up, good things will happen to you, Mr. Chase. You keep running, you're going to be continually sitting in jail for 10 plus days and you get no credit. Like none of this counts for any sentence whatsoever. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to grant you a PR bond. Let's set bond at $500, just like the other bond is set. Go to Brazoria County or post that bond.
I will.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Good luck. Okay. Oh, Stephen, is it Brazoria, Pavel?
I believe so, Judge. I don't actually show it once, but I do show it on this.
And Judge, really quick on the DVR itself, it was for an hour and a half.
Broccoli.
He admitted to me that he did fall asleep after work. Mom is here. She did say on that day, she was there and he was at the house. As soon as pretrial called him and told him that his ankle monitor was off, he immediately started charging it. So it was just an issue of not charging for an hour and a half.
Hey, Tracy, I don't understand this. It says client had no GPS, no cell, 6 hours.
Meaning he didn't charge it. Why did not?
But it says he did not charge it as instructed and on 7/19/24 at 8:13 PM.
Broccoli.
Client had no GPS, no cell, device received power back on at 9:44 PM. So it had no power from 8:13 to 9:44, or it had no power for 6 hours. That makes no sense. If it did not have power for 6 hours, I'm gonna have a big problem with that. If it had just no power from 8:13 to 9:44, I'm okay with that. What does this mean? First, if you didn't have power for 6 hours, that tells me something is afoot. And I have a problem with that. Let's do this. Go ahead, take a seat for me while we wait, and then we'll be right.
Here's why I can't move to Texas. Here's why. I had corn on the cob for dinner tonight. Now, I mean, you can get corn anywhere. You can get corn anywhere, but you can't get Lancaster County corn on the cob in Texas. You just can't. And I can't live without it because it's so freaking delicious and cheap.
Okay, Helen Perez.
Judge. Judge, she's currently in custody. My understanding is she missed a court date on 7/5. She had a warrant pending. I talked to her about it. Hey, how come you didn't show up? Something about a tornado. Tornado prevented her from coming. I didn't do the math and go back and see when all the weather hit Houston, but
I'm not giving her a PR bond.
you won't give
She
her.
don't show up. She's ready 2 times before. This is the 3rd time.
This is the 3rd time.
Yep. She don't show up. The only reason we have her now is because she got arrested.
Yeah.
If we didn't, she'd still be in the wind, you know?
What's her bond at right now?
5,002.
Um,
And she just had a 4 to 200 delivery case dismissed as well.
so you wouldn't consider even a lower bond?
No, I didn't say that. I just said I'm not giving her a PR bond.
You want to do a PR bond? Even, can we do something? Can we hit her with a GPS to try to know where she's at?
Do you mind grabbing Miss Perez? Did you say you have another one too?
Yes, Mr. Jonathan Marin.
Okay, if it's a guy, we can't do it at the same time.
Yeah,
Who's the other guy?
Jonathan Marin.
Marin.
I wanted to hear PC on that one.
Here you go, Logan. It's your
Sure.
turn to shine. He wants to hear PC on that one.
Yeah.
You don't think there's PC on Marin?
I think there's a big issue on who they got permission from to search the vehicle. I don't think they have PC.
Okay. Please.
On August 24th, 2022, officers were dispatched to a weapons disturbance call. Witness stated that she and defendant got into a verbal altercation over a parking spot, and the defendant pulled out a handgun from his waistband. The defendant came back to the location and was detained. Officers were given permission to search the vehicle. Defendant arrived in where they found the handgun. Defendant is a citizen of Honduras.
Okay, what?
He pulled a handgun out of his waistband, Your Honor, and then he returned back to it. Then the officers asked him to search
So someone saw him pull a handgun.
Yes.
He didn't point it at anyone.
No, he just pulled it
No,
out.
that'll be ag assault.
Right,
that's
so-
why I just got used to doing it.
Right, so he just pulls it out. Does he just like go like this basically? Or I guess they don't say, right?
Yeah, they don't say, Your Honor.
He puts it back in his waistband. I mean, just the showing is the, right?
Yes, that's information.
And so at that point, it goes back to the car.
He drops off the gun and then leaves the scene, then comes back to the car, talks with officers, and then the officers get permission from him to search the car.
So what's the issue?
The issue is they didn't get permission from him. They got permission from a lady named Olga.
Yeah, that's the defendant's wife. Big difference, yeah.
They have co-owned.
Logan said he will sell you. Damn it. Logan said he will sell you Lucifer's cat feet for $5 each.
Ownership of the car? Does she have permission? Does she have?
It comes back registered as a visit and it's because it's wife who was driving the rest of the vehicle at the time.
Okay, hold on, give me a second. Morning, Ms. Perez.
Good morning.
Pictures,
speak English?
not the real feet. Pictures. Pictures.
Would you prefer a translator or do you want to speak to me?
I think, is it okay if I try it in English?
Say it again?
I think I want to try it in English.
Okay, I guess just hang tight with
Yes,
me
sir.
in the event.
Yes.
How's jail?
A place where I don't want to be, and of course not my family.
Thank
or
you.
kids to grow
Thank
up
you
with.
so much.
I didn't hear, what did she say?
Que me parece la cárcel, no me gusta.
How do I see the jail? I do not like it to live there,
Or ni mis hijos o mi familia.
nor for my children or my family.
You don't come to court. That's why you're in jail.
En la cárcel.
We have given you PR bonds on 2 different occasions and you have failed to return both times. That's why you're in custody now.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the reason I told it.
I don't care what your reason is.
Not a tornado.
Your reasons, they don't matter. You have to appear in court. And when you fail to appear in court, we issue warrants. I am not going to give you another PR bond. You've already shown me how you will act when we give you a PR bond. I'm willing to lower the bond for you, but I'm not giving you another free one.
Who would have thunk in my chat someone would have to say the words, please don't send feet.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yes, you are.
¿El caso de quién?
Your Honor, I do not understand. Repeat that.
¿El caso de quién?
Whose case?
You have, and you are charged with assault. It's an assault, right?
Yes, sure, that's correct.
Okay, because I have Marin's case still up.
I heard her say casa, and I know that that means house. Is casa both case and house in Spanish? Somebody who speaks Spanish in chat, help me out here.
Where do you live?
¿A dónde vive usted?
En 1611
11611.
Great Alder Drive.
If I drug test you now, what's going to show up?
¿Qué va a ser el resultado?
Negativo, no sé por qué me va a hacer algo de droga, porque a quién yo golpeé.
But I don't understand. I don't understand why you're going to give me a drug. Who did I hit?
I will let you get into the facts with the lawyer that we've appointed to represent you now.
Thank you, Judge.
If you are released and if you can get someone to post the bond, I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. And I will put a GPS monitor on you prior to your release, so I know where you are at all times. I am willing to give you a bond reduction if you want, but I will not give you another PR bond. I've played that game with you before, and I'm not down with it again. I will let you speak with Ricardo to see what you guys can do.
Lucy.
The bond reduction has to be reasonable. If you come at me with a $250 bond, I'm going to say no. Ixnay to the bond A. So I will let you guys speak. I am advising you now that if you are released, you will be expected not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to test you for drugs like crazy.
Can you please send some casas to frickin' Indiana, please? Keister Bunny, please.
And you will need a GPS monitor. Do you have any questions?
Que porque el señor está mintiendo sobre que puede mirar en la cámara que yo a él no le golpeaba. Le tengo miedo a él. Why is that gentleman claiming that I heard him? And when you can watch, you can look at the cameras, and he was the one that was aggressive towards me.
Judge, por favor de no hablar de los específicos del caso. Eso lo están grabando, lo pueden usar contra usted. Eso, ahorita nomás estamos tratando de sacar. Pueden usar lo que usted dice contra usted. Si usted dice algo mal, lo van a usar contra usted.
Any witness in this
The
case?
clerk at a store, Your Honor. The clerk at a gas station.
Which gas station?
Right stop on West Mount Houston.
So can you just read it real quick so she can?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, please.
On June 7th, 20. Here's- The thing is acting up. It's scrolled all the way down. On June 7th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a gas station regarding an assault. They spoke with the complainant, who advised that when he arrived at the store, he was approached by the defendant, who was holding a beer bottle in one hand and a six-pack in the other. He advised the defendant had slurred speech and he could not understand what she was saying to him. Defendant appeared upset, poured beer on his shirt.
She poured beer on his shirt?
Yes, Your Honor, and slapped him with an open hand in the mouth, causing him pain and discomfort. He did not strike back.
Nice.
Officers observed that the complainant had a cut to his lip and a wet shirt. The defendant advised that she was upset because the complainant was laughing at her. She was highly intoxicated and she was identified by AMPUS at JPC.
Did you understand the facts of the case?
Yes.
Donald is a pot stirrer.
Have a drug or alcohol problem. Guys,
no.
You can speak outside. If you do, you better address it, because I'm going to do it for you if you don't. What do you guys say to a bond reduction? And if so, what amount, Logan?
I'd be okay with $2,500 so long as she has the GPS monitor.
Judge, my understanding is that she's not working. My understanding is she lives with her father, if I remember correctly. She's got 2 kids. 12
She's got kids.
12-year-old and a 10-year-old is my understanding. And
You have custody of those kids?
Yes, I'm afraid he's the one who's gonna assault me. I apologize if the beer.
I don't want to talk about the case. My only concern, if we let you out, is the community protected, number one. And number two, will you show up? That's my concern.
Le puede decir,
I believe it.
tengo miedo al muchacho.
But you can tell him that I'm afraid of the guy because he was chasing me with a gun. Okay.
Judge, like I said, my understanding is she lived with her father. She's got 2 kids, hasn't been working. I've talked to her. She's got a plan in place on how to come back to court. Her father's supposedly gonna bring her. You know, you can hit her with the GPS. We'll know where she's at. The only concern is the bond amount. I'd be asking for $1,000 bond.
Back with your father. If I were to call him right now and ask him if you're allowed to go back to that house, what would he say?
Yes.
I'm gonna call him. What's the phone number?
281.
Okay. Cristóbal?
Yes.
What's the last name of it? No.
Perez.
Same.
Please leave your message for
Cristóbal Perez. I'm gonna call one more time. Let's see if it picks up.
Judge, quit calling me. I'm
I'm
busy.
gonna try one more time. Let's see if he calls. Or let's see if he answers, sorry. I'm not gonna let you out unless I know that we have a plan in place and we have someone that's gonna take you, because I'm not letting you out to the street. If I can get a hold of your father and he tells me that he's willing to take you in.
So the way closed captioning works is after the stream processes, after YouTube processes the stream, then you can turn closed captioning on. It takes time for YouTube to process the stream, and I can't tell you how much time it takes. So, like, if you watch it later or tomorrow, the closed caption will probably be on.
Then we can work something out. But until that point, you stay with me.
please leave your message for
Cristóbal Perez. So Ricardo, you have Dad's phone number.
Yes, I got it. Right.
Perhaps reach out to Father at a later time and then we can talk. But I want to talk to him personally so that I know that you have a place to go to. I will put a monitor for alcohol on your ankle, Ms. Perez, so that I know that you're not consuming alcohol.
That's so scary, Tina.
Okay.
No more dope. No alcohol.
¿Qué dijo? No entiendo. Está bien, pero yo no sé lo que dijo. No alcohol. No puede tomar bebida alcohólica.
All right. So let's just set this off, I guess, till beginning of next week. Let's see if you can get it. Yeah, let's see if you can get a hold of Dad. Tracy, prior to release, she has a GPS monitor. The day after, she gets a scram on the other ankle, no drugs, no alcohol, and we will test her. As far as it is, as far as I'm concerned now, I'm not going to do anything until I know that you have a place to go to, Mr. Perez, Ms. Perez, because I'm not letting you out to the street. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Judge. Voy a hablar con usted el lunes, vamos a estar aquí otra vez el lunes. Entre este tiempo voy a tratar de comunicarme con su papá para que hablemos con el
Yeah, sorry.
And on the motion to vote for the individual that Troy was talking about.
What's it set up now?
papá. Sure.
I need her to sign over here real quick.
Okay.
Judge, Sims is on Zoom for Galvan.
Come up, Mr. Galvan.
At least Fozzie did.
Motion to vote.
I fixed it. No, oh, it's set at 100. Okay, 5,001.
5,001.
Yeah. Okay.
Every time I see this attorney, I want to play Sims. I want to play Sims. I want to play Sims. And that would suck me away from court for weeks.
Mr. Galvan, I've appointed you a lawyer. The lawyer is now with us on Zoom. Unfortunately, the TVs aren't working, otherwise you'd be able to see him. His name is James Sims. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with him. You tested positive for marijuana. No more. You will get tested 31 days from today. If you stop smoking as of today, then you will not test positive. I'll give you probably a couple days after that. Weed stays in your system 30 days, give or take. If you stop
John.
now and I test you at about 35 days, you should test negative. If you test positive, that tells you that you've continued to smoke. According to here, it says client states no RX, no over the counter, no alcohol, cocaine 2 weeks ago, and THC 1 week ago. If you test positive for anything harder than weed, I'm going to let loose on you. Do not use anything. The next thing that you and I are going to work on is your GED. You cannot be rolling around life without, at the minimum, a high school diploma. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to set this case for 2 weeks from today. I want to see what you've done to start looking into getting your GED. I want you to come back to me. All you have to do is Google how to get my GED, and there are a ton of different classes and abilities to do that. If you have any issues, reach out to the lawyer that we've given you, and we have programs set up that will be able to help you. If you've done nothing, it's not going to go well for you, though.
I got a question about the lawyer. Is
Shoot.
that gonna be my lawyer for the next 4 years? Can I still get my own?
You can, yeah, you're absolutely entitled to get the own lawyer of your choice. I gave you a lawyer now to help you save money. You're what, 20, right? You said? Do you have money? So how are you going to pay for a lawyer?
Well, I contact one, but they called me and they said I didn't need a lawyer for today. So I believe on Tuesday.
Most lawyers with the 2 cases that you have, they will charge you several $1,000s to represent you. If you have that money, then great. But I'm giving one to you for free now, and he's a great lawyer. He will help you out. But I don't care if you have Jesus by your side as your lawyer, these conditions will remain on you, whether you have, it don't matter who you got. My goal before you leave out of here with everything is at a minimum to have your GED.
Yes, sir.
You catch my drift? All right. I'm gonna have you sign conditions. I will see you back here in 2 weeks. Don't use. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Do you have a cell phone?
No, but I'm working on that as well.
The lawyer here needs somehow to get a hold of you.
He could call my aunt's number. I live with her.
Okay.
I got her cell phone on me right now.
Okay, hang tight. James, you ready?
Yes, Judge.
So hold on, the last name is, what is it? Galvan, that's right. Okay, Mr. Galvan, what's that phone number? Yeah, it's okay.
281-624-8844.
Did he just ask him, do you have a cell phone? And he said, no, I'm working on it. And then he just pulls a cell phone out of his pocket? Or did I mishear all of that?
Yes, it's that.
Did you get that?
No, I didn't get that. What's the number?
281.
Got it.
What's her name?
Zulma Andrade.
Sulmal?
Yeah, Zulma Andrade.
Zulmal Andrade. It is your responsibility to stay.
You missed the bowl cut I had on, Fletcher. I needed this background for my bowl cut. It's gone now. You have to rewind it.
In touch with Mr. Sims. He's the lawyer that we've given you. If Mr. Sims tells me that he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games and you're not responding, I will issue a warrant. You already saw her in custody. Look at me. Because if you don't get this, there are serious consequences. If you don't come back, I will not give you another PR bond. You will be stuck like Chuck in jail until this case is over with. And I'm going to tell you, with the kind of case you have, it takes damn near 9 months just to get a 911 tape. You will sit in custody. If your aunt doesn't have $5,000 to $10,000 to pony up a bond for you, you will be stuck. You understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to give you as much as I can now, so you know.
Don't
how to
call
handle
Aunt
things
Kathy.
going
Don't
forward.
call.
He's going to reach out to you guys. There's also going to be a phone number for him. You guys need to talk today. If he tells me that he's not been able to talk to you today, I'm just going to issue a warrant, and that's it. So you guys need a powwow today.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Good luck.
Judge House, August 15th.
August 15th, James?
That's fine, Judge.
Okay. All right. Good luck, Mr. Galvan.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, James.
All right, bye.
Can we refer to Mr. Marin?
Yeah.
Jonathan Marin, we were in the middle of
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, it's all right, Judge. So my argument was,
I just appreciate the fact that you thought that the whole way through. And that's true. Everything you said is true.
they didn't get permission to search for my client who was charged with the UCW.
Well, she has, it's her car too.
So then why didn't she get charged for the UCW?
And
Because
isn't there an apparent authority theory as well?
Because he wasn't, she wasn't
Yes,
sure.
Judge, actually, it's twofold. I mean, she's the driver, he's the passenger. Both of them are owners of the vehicle. She gave permission, she has the care, custody, control of the operation of the vehicle, and the pistol was found in this area, so that was.
But additionally, also. the
And they
witness-
saw him with the gun.
Yeah,
Right.
unholstered in his pants.
Presenting the other side.
Yeah, I get it, and I appreciate the tenacity.
I didn't hear the, Judge, I didn't hear the part about finding it on his side. I don't know if he admitted to it or they found it on his side. They thought they just found it in the vehicle. And so that's a big issue.
Second row, middle seat on the listed vehicle, which was within wingspan of the defendant.
Second row, middle seat.
So it's a 3-row car, obviously.
It's a forerunner, yes.
Forerunner. I think there's PC.
Okay.
I do. I mean,
Understood,
I
Judge.
see him. She's got authority to give, consent to search. Even if it wasn't her car, it's apparent authority anyways,
Okay, if you found PC, you found PC, Judge. I get it. Okay, I'll go from there. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
There was another bail order that I had to do. Who was it on? No, Chase, no, but I did it anyway, but I didn't need to. Okay. Did we take anybody else into custody? Yeah. Boy, that $3,400 might be worse, huh? What's worse, 2 days in jail or $3,400?
2 days in jail.
You think so? I mean, you been to jail? You been to jail?
No, I don't want to.
Michael's gonna pay $3,400 for you? I don't know.
Michael would pay anything for her.
I'll have to have a serious talk with Michael. What?
I have the report.
Okay,
She put the wrong time. It was 3:14 when it went.
come up, come up. Hey, you ready?
I would definitely go to jail for 2 days instead of paying $3,400. It would take me forever to get $3,400.
Does your mom speak English or no?
She can understand, but she speaks more Spanish.
Okay. Tracy, what's the word?
He's got to charge better. He started getting warnings on the 15th and it died on the 19th. 3:14 to 9. 44, so that's 9:44, so that's 6 hours.
So it died at 3 o'clock in the afternoon,
Yeah,
and then it came back at
9:44.
9. So we were unable to figure out what he was doing between all that time.
And then when he.
How many other?
He called Fleischer, said that he was asleep.
Hi, stranger.
Call me.
Oh, they called you.
They didn't call me all day. As soon as they called me, I put it to charge.
I
As
see
soon
all
as
of
they
your
called me, I had
comments.
a screenshot. I didn't
Thank
know.
you.
You're telling me you fell asleep at 3 p.m.?
No, I was at work. I got home like at 7 and I fell asleep. And as soon as they called me at 9, I put it to charge. As soon as they called me, it didn't.
Died while you were at work, though.
It didn't vibrate. It didn't do nothing. It usually vibrates. It didn't vibrate.
Any other days?
Vibration on.
Is this the only day, Tracy, or is there multiple days that it's
There's
died?
multiple days this month where it's getting close to dying. So I guess you're at work when it starts going low on you.
It doesn't vibrate.
That's
It
it.
usually vibrates.
You have to anticipate. You need to look at the device, and if it's 20% battery and you know you're going to go to work for 6 to 8 hours, if I go to work, is this thing going to die? That's called anticipation. And you need to anticipate, like when you have a cell phone. You either charge it all night so that when you wake up, it's 100%, or if you don't have the wherewithal to do that, then before you're going to go out for a long stretch where you don't have the ability to charge, you anticipate.
Fight me, Fletcher boy. Come at me. 1v1 me. You and me right now. You weren't here for it, but still, fight me.
Anytime. So we have him on a curfew, right?
Yeah.
What?
His curfew is.
6 a.m. to 9.
He's been in compliance with the curfew?
Yeah, curfew's fine. It's just not like, when it started giving me that warning on 15, that's when you go full charge. You went almost the whole other day without charge, for 2-3 days without charge.
Look, sometimes
What is this look stuff?
no, it's because like sometimes my charger, I don't know, like I'll be having to move it around so it could charge. I don't know if it's my monitor, but like I'll be having to move my charger around. And then like it didn't even vibrate the day she said it turned off. It didn't vibrate. It didn't let me know. The reason I found out it turned off because they called me.
How often do you charge this thing? Are they, when they tell you to charge this thing, because they give you instructions on how to use it, they don't just put something on your ankle, expect you to learn by yourself. What do they tell you to do as far as charging?
For 24 hours.
Why are you not doing that?
I do it. I don't know.
Baloney, you were not. You're getting lazy again. And if that thing dies one more time, so will you. I will not give you another pass. No está cargando la cosa en el pie.
Sí, sí lo está cargando.
No lo está cargando. Tengo el reporte aquí que dice.
Son 2 horas.
Había 6 horas el otro día que se fue muerto la cosa.
Porque él llegó de trabajar y se durmió y fue cuando lo
Que le
llamaron.
estoy diciendo que él tiene que cargarlo cada día. Y la próxima vez que se muere la cosa, le voy a poner en la cárcel con una fianza de $30,000. No estoy jugando de nuevo. Te prometo, la próxima
$1
vez
million?
te vas a la cárcel.
I heard that.
Y no me importa cualquier excusa que tú tienes, no me importa. ¿Entiendes, Méndez? I told him the next time it dies, so does he. I will not entertain any excuses. So we will take a look.
Muerta, muerta.
I'm happy that you're not going out past curfew, but I still don't know what you're doing. This is the final warning you will get from me. El final que le digo que no tiene más.
Sí, pero a veces.
Cada día. How long does it take to charge it?
At least 2 hours to get a good full charge. So you can't do the little 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there.
2 horas cada vez tienes que cargarlo. So can you like watch TV and just sit there and charge it or what? There's no excuse.
2 horas, está bien.
Okay.
Yo no voy a encargar de
All right. Okay, Connor.
Miss Kizzy, Aaliyah Kizzy that you ordered to do. Drug test here.
He said $1 million. $1 million. That's what he said. $1 million. I do know that. I do know it means 1,000. I do. Dorothy Hamill had great hair. We loved her hair. She was so pretty. All right. I guess I do have one more. I was going to save it for tomorrow, but we the accent. Carolyn, CJ, you'll like the accent. You'll like it. You'll like it. Wisconsin. I have to find it. It's right. I was going to play it today, but I am now. Okay, there it is. It's short. It's not long, guys. It's not long. It's another child support, but it's not really a custody case or anything like that. It's just okay. We've seen this judge before. She does small claims, and the last time we saw her, she was like, "Oh, please get me out of small claims," or she was going to retire, or something like that. She was very just frustrated and annoyed with everything. So it looks like she's out of small claims and she's doing child support, and she's still very frustrated and annoyed. I love what she does to him at the end, though. It's so cute. Uh, let me try this again. There should be no problems with this. There she is. I can see her. Well, guys, we can't watch Wisconsin today. We'll have to watch Wisconsin tomorrow after I fix it. I don't know why it's not showing up, but
And Attorney Knaple, go ahead. Mr. Bell, I am going to ask you to turn on your video if you can.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to. Oh,
There you
there we
go.
go.
Good job. All right, Attorney Knaple, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Bell's current address is Manitowoc, Wisconsin, 54220. Telephone number 2. Date of birth, July. Mr. Bell is employed at Premier Logistics. Appears he missed his hearing yesterday. Believed it was in the afternoon, according to my notes, but made arrangements with us here today.
All right, so with the quick turnaround, Attorney Belair.
Commissioner, we are requesting a cash bond on this one. There are some unique circumstances that justify the cash bond. This was a due diligence warrant. It was a voluntary return, but this was a situation where Mr. Bell had actual notice of the court hearing and there were active attempts at avoiding service.
I love the accent.
Case
I
manager
love
had
it.
spoken with him on June 28th. At that point, she had let him know there was a court date set for contempt. They had a discussion about what it was for. She indicated that if he's able to sign for the papers, she could save him the cost of being served. She gave him the office hours. And then he confirmed that information. On June 29th, which was a Saturday, the case manager followed up with him because she realized he hadn't shown up for the paperwork. She just wanted to confirm, was he still planning to pick it up? He said that he had forgotten he had to pick up his children, or he had to take his children to his mother's house. She said she could meet him that day, even though the office was closed. But then they made arrangements to do that on Monday because he said he would be back in town on Monday. He didn't appear Monday. Ultimately, the paperwork was sent out for the process server to serve. The server made 7 attempts at the address that he provided today. The process server confirmed that he lived in apartment B. The air conditioner was on. There was a vehicle in the driveway on 2 separate occasions. The lights were also on inside. The process server left cards. On one of the follow-up visits, the card was still on the door. The process server also made 3 phone calls for him. So this was a situation where Mr. Bell knew that he had court and then was avoiding the process server when the server was at the residence. Given that the hearing is out, we believe that a $100 cash bond is appropriate under the circumstances and to ensure his future appearance.
Attorney Knaple.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that you consider a cognizance bond. The miss was yesterday. I understand the record Corporation Counsel gave, and I don't doubt it. But the miss was yesterday. I took a look at the court record while you're talking. Looks like, well, the case number is 2019. It's been open since 2019. This is the first. There's been a previous contempt proceeding, but I don't believe there's been a previous warrant on this file.
Listen, guys, I rationed Fleischer out so that we have enough for all next week. Every day we're going to get Fleischer. Every day.
Until today. Yes, he should have been there. I have no doubt if he misses again, this is going to come up and he's going to need a lot better argumentation. But that being said, Your Honor, the miss was yesterday. He made arrangements. I'd ask the court to agree cognizance bond. Thank you.
Attorney Knaple, is he signing up for representation going forward? Is he ineligible? Do you know that information?
I do, Your Honor. He did sign an application with our office today. He was found eligible.
He is eligible, so he will have counsel.
Yes.
No, he has no idea he's muted, guys.
Okay. If you were in custody, Mr. Bell, I'd probably still make you sign post a small amount of cash. Because that was a pretty convincing argument regarding it being avoidance of servants. But I'm going to give you a chance here. If you miss again and counsel is there and doesn't have an explanation, we're going to end up with a warrant. You're going to be in custody and we can have this whole discussion again. So you get this one last shot. I'll make it a $500 personal recognizance bond. The new date is August 26th. That's at 10 a.m. in Branch 3 with Judge Dwayne. If you fail to appear, a warrant will be issued and you have the right to be represented. With that, you are done. You may sign off. Oh, wait a minute. We do have to arrange for your signing the bond. Are you able to come to the courthouse to do that? Go ahead. I unmuted you.
Oh, yes, I probably on Monday I can for sure. And the other question I had, Your Honor, is whether that coming up hearing could be also done via Zoom, just because because I'll most likely be at work and this is only my second month of work and I don't necessarily be wanting, to ask off.
Mr. Bell.
Mr. Bell.
Sorry.
I'm going to have a lawyer. They'll assist you figuring that all out.
I'm sorry.
Because every case is a little different. Every judge handles things differently. I'll just say there's probably a good chance, but work with your lawyer. And the fact that there was the no-show, etc., is going to make a difference in whether the judge will consider granting that. I don't have the underlying details. That's why every case is different. Come in by Monday. I will give you till Tuesday to do it just in case Attorney Belair has a concern.
Guys, we have to see it. Please just let me hear her say Tuesday again. I have to.
That's why every case is different. Come in by Monday. I will give you till Tuesday to do it just in case Attorney Belair has a concern.
I love her accent.
Service of the paperwork, because he's appearing by Zoom, we weren't able to get him the paperwork.
Zoom.
If you could add that as a bond condition that he stop in at child support and pick up the paperwork, I'd appreciate that.
Okay, and I'm going to do it that way just to show again his attention to the matter. It'll show that he has to walk from one office to the other and actually do this. Child support's on the same floor as clerk of court. It really isn't much of an excuse if you do get here Monday. So I will make that a condition.
Thank you.
And with that,
Thank
then
you.
we are fully done with Mr. Bell.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep.
Thank
Goodbye.
you, Attorney Nepple.
He pronounces the K, so it's Knaple.
I'm sorry.
It's all good, Mr. Bell. Have a good weekend.
Everyone learns. Everyone learns. It's okay. I'll just disconnect you.
I do not have an accent.
Good day, Attorney Belair.
Thank you, too.
Okay, now our last case is also a child support matter. So they've seen a couple of different examples. Keep all of that in mind.
Cranky. She's so cranky. She kicked him off the Zoom call. But she did tell him she was going to. So he wasn't listening, though. He probably is still, I don't know when I got this. I don't know what day I got this, but he's probably still sitting there talking. She had to mute him because he wouldn't stop talking, though we didn't really notice that. He started talking, she muted him right away. Boom, muted. I'm gonna try to get her. She's really, really hard to get. Like, it's like she's only on like once a month at a certain hour, and you don't know what it is, and she's really, really hard to figure out, I think. But I always love it when I get her because of her I'm trying to talk. I am actually not moving to Texas, guys. It was really a joke. Did you see the hair? It was a joke. It was like think of it as a skit almost. I'm staying right here in Pennsylvania. I love Pennsylvania. Because of our corn. No, that's not why, but our corn is definitely a number one thing. All right. I have, so Fozzie actually gave me 6 outros. So we're gonna do number 2 today. We'll pick one that we like, or we won't, or I'll just mix and match them as we move on. But no, oh no, absolutely no, absolutely not. I'm moving because of the kids. I'm not. I'm not taking them with me. Maybe I can move them to Texas. I could tell him how great Texas is. I mean, I could tell all of them. I could pay for it. I love it. I don't swear. I'm an angel. The nuns would beat me if I swore. I got a 3-day suspension from school once because my collar was curved and not pointed. There's no way I swear. No, no, Kelly, it's already planned. I'm sending my kids to Texas. Snow is not burr. I mean, you're inside them most of the time. It's not like people just stand around outside, and when you do go outside in the snow, it's a lot of fun. Except I will not get rid of my pets, except when there's like, a car accident or like snow in the city turns black, so it's like blackish. It's not attractive at all. Not attractive at all. All right, I gotta find this outro. Guys, thank you so much for coming out. I really, 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 really appreciate it. No Judge Fleischer today, but I will have some for tomorrow's stream from before. And then tomorrow, I know when I start this Judge Fleischer portion of my stream, I'm going to get a whole bunch of people in comments saying, "What's this from today? I thought he was on vacation." Listen, guys, listen. If anybody comes into my chat tomorrow and says the words, "Oh my gosh, was this today?" Everybody just say yes. Yes, it was. Yes. Yes, it was, guys. You missed it. You should have watched. All right. Don't let anybody know that it was from last week. All right. Well, except for Jazzy. Tell Jazzy the truth. Because. Bye. Bye, Kathy. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much. All right. Outro number 2. Hold on. I have it. I have it in the wrong folder. That's it. It says just in the wrong folder. There it is.
Caddy in the room, sunshine on the stage. Her giggles break the gloom. Laughter's what she wage. Jokes sharp, cutting through. Witty like a blade. Humor off the charts. Funny renegade. Wicked sense of play. Twisting words anew. Chuckles all around. Sky turning blue. Tags that never die. Timeless through and through. Smiles on the rise. Nothing left to rue. Kathy's giggles turning days bright. Tonight's the night her humor takes flight. Laughing all the way makes everything right in her world. Laughter's the light. Puns that make you spin. Logic taking bend. Every line a win. Can't help but commend. Playful inner grin. Humor's best friend. Kathy bringing in joy, never gonna end. Quips so smooth, groove of the rhyme. Keeps the vibe in tune, humor's prime time. Her jokes never boom, subtle like a chime. Kathy in the room, laughing all the time. Kathy's giggles turning days bright. Tonight's the night her humor takes flight. Laughing all the way makes everything right in her world. Laughter's the light.